Okay? So let's start. So unahin muna natin yung case ni Gadon, no? Si Attorney Gadon. So to summarize the facts, uh, si Attorney Gadon or Larry Gadon ay file siya ng complaint to a Supreme Court officials. Likewise, nag-file din siya ng complaint against Chief Justice Sereno, no? So, ang nangyari is, although, ano bang final niya kay Chief Justice Sereno? So, kumbaga, meron daw mga nagaganap sa loob ng Supreme Court en banc kung saan niluluto nila yung mga desisyon. So, kung ano pinag-usapan nila sa en banc, pag dumating sa decision or judgment or resolution, ay naiiba na. So, of course, that's a very questionable. Tinanong si Gadon, no, sa isang Senate committee, or isang committee with regards to his complaint. Now, a lot of representative was asking Larry Gadon, saan mo nakuha yung information na yon? Please take note that during the filing of that complaint against Sereno of this temporary restraining order daw na ginawa na which is a blank TRO, ay according to him, nung nag-file siya ng complaint, he attested to it, verification that he has personal knowledge and its authenticity. So every time that we are filing a case or complaint in court, normally, all of your pleadings na or complaint na sinabmit sa court, merong verification yan. Yung verification yan, to give you a simplified version, ang nakasaad doon is you are attesting, no, that yung complaint mo is based on your personal knowledge and belief. Alright? Personal. However, dito sa case ni Attorney Gadon, doon daw sa mga graft and corrupt practices daw sa Supreme Court at saka yung mga TRO, temporary restraining order, at saka mga decision ng Supreme Court judges ay luto, rigged or fixed. Now, nung tinanong si Larry Gadon ng mga representatives, sabi nila saan mo nalaman, Attorney Sir Larry Gadon? So, ang sabi ni Attorney Gadon, hindi daw siya based on his personal knowledge. It came from a newspaper. Tas tinanong si newspaper, sabi niya, doon na ako nakausap yung newspaper. Tapos tinanong naman si Larry Gadon kung doon sa newspaper or editor, nakausap mo ba yung yung Supreme Court justice, kung saan makukuha mo yung information about this TRO allegations. Sabi niya, hindi ako. Ang nagsabi doon is yung news reporter or journalist based on sa newspaper. Sabi ng representatives, sa makatuwid, Attorney Gadon, yung complaint mo is based on not on your personal knowledge but from a secondary evidence at pwede din siyang maging hearsay. Of course, pinilit pa rin ni Attorney Larry Gadon na yes, it might not be with it might not be his personal belief, but sabi niya the secondary evidence can provide proof na meron talagang kalokohan sa Supreme Court. Yun. So, the IBP then recommends for penalty with Larry Gadon. Pero ang Supreme Court, they gave a ruling in this case, and I believe ito ay magiging isa sa mga landmark cases insofar as the lawyer is concerned. Okay? So, ang issue dito is yung pag-file niya ng complaint sa court, tapos yung verification niya doon ay nilagay ay based on his personal knowledge, pero nung tinanong, nung he was being, interrogated or asked, sinabi niya hindi mismo galing sa kanyang personal knowledge. It came from a secondary evidence, a newspaper. Hindi pa niya nakausap kung whoever is Supreme Court Justice. Nakausap pa lang daw niya the newspaper journalist ba yun? So yung IBP, the Supreme Court filed a disbarment, no? Grants or modified the penalty of Larry Gadon to disbarment case. Take note na yung issue ni Larry Gadon, maliban doon sa pag-file niya ng mga complaint na wala kumbaga he was just he filed a complaint with an invalid verification. That's actually correct. That's a right term. Invalid verification. Walang kwenta na yung pina-file niyang complaint. So, knowing that he is also a lawyer, may penalty siya, disbarment. Yun yung una, yung case na to. Another case is, meron din siyang disbarment case, yung, if you can remember, yung sa video, social media, minumura si Ma'am Raisa. I'm not mistaken, is that Lubrigo ba yun? But it's actually Raisa. So parang that became viral. So that's another case. And pangatlo is meron siyang isang kaso din wherein he paid a fine of 150,000. Because of this infractions, Attorney Gadon was rendered by the Supreme Court disbarred to practice law in the Philippines. Notwithstanding his disbarment, ano ang mangyayari, sir, sa mga ibang disbarment? So, generally speaking, pag example, dalawang disbarment mo, hindi big sabihin na dahil porket dalawang disbarment mo, isang disbarment, okay na, hindi. Usually, pag disbar ka, yung kung may isang disbarment case ka, magiging on the record siya. So when if the lawyer would ask for a judicial clemency, mauungkat yung disbarment case na yon. Pero the Supreme Court provides, the Supreme Court provides that Attorney Gadon is ineligible for judicial clemency. Okay. Bago natin pag-usapan ng judicial clemency, pag-usapan muna natin ano ang ginawa ni Attorney Larry Gadon, former Attorney Larry Gadon, kung saan yung infraction niya ay nag-led to his disbarment in this case. Okay? So, first, the infractions according sa Section 11 ng CIPRA. Itong CIPRA na to, or Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability, this is the newest, pinakabagong code, batas, policy, or rules na kailangan sundin ng ating mga abogado at saka mga judges or the member of the bar. This is, for short, it's called CIPRA. So, una is Section 11, false representation or statements duty to correct. A lawyer shall not make false representations or statement. A lawyer shall be liable for any material damage caused by such false representation or statements. A lawyer shall not, in demand letters or other similar correspondence, make false representations or statements or impute civil, criminal, or administrative liability without factual or legal basis. A lawyer shall correct false or inaccurate statements and information made in relation to an application for admission to the bar and any pleading or any other document required by or submitted to the court, tribunal, or agency as soon as its falsity or inaccuracy is discovered or made known to him or her. So from that instance or from that law itself, yung ginawa ni Larry Gadon dito sa case na to ay nag-file siya ng mga complaint, nag-file siya ng complaint doon sa meron daw corruption na nagaganap daw sa some Supreme Court officials. At the same time, allegedly sinasabi din niya na meron daw rig or luto yung mga desisyon ng ating Supreme Court, including the temporary restraining order during the time wherein Chief Justice Sereno sits as the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court. All right. Even if Chief Justice Sereno was ousted by Quo Warranto, it doesn't mean that Larry Gadon should be he should not be liable anymore kasi kwanda stoop na or wala na, wave na naman or kumbaga wala na, sumut an academic. No. Larry Gadon's representation was false. Kung ano-ano na lang ang pinapile sa complaint, and knowing that he's a lawyer, he is liable under Section 11. We also have your Canon 6 of the CIPRA. Sabi dito, isa sa mga serious offenses ng abogado or judge or the member of the bar is this one. A serious offense includes letter A, gross misconduct or any inexcusable, shameful, or flagrant unlawful conduct. This was one of the serious offenses kung saan kailangan managot ni Attorney Larry Gadon. Pero pag-usapan muna natin anong ibig sabihin ng gross misconduct. Gross misconduct in the case of Donato versus Asuncion, a 2004 case, any inexcusable, shameful, or flagrant unlawful conduct on the part of a person concerned in the administration of justice which is prejudicial to the rights of the parties or to the right determination of the cause. Such conduct is generally motivated by a premeditated, obstinate, or intentional purpose. Larry Gadon's filing of complaint is an intentional purpose. It's actually inexcusable. Bakit? He is a lawyer. He knows the law. And him filing this complaint kung saan pa invalid or false pa kasi doon sa verification sabi niya doon he attests that his complaint filed to the court is based on his personal belief or personal knowledge. Pero nung tinanong siya, sabi niya, doon ko lang nalaman sa ibang tao, sa newspaper, sa journalist. Hindi naman niya directly nakita na meron talagang nagaganap sa loob ng NBank. Knowing that these Supreme Court justices have their own meetings, NBanks or like closed meetings, the question right now is how did Larry Gadon presume or how did Larry Gadon come to a conclusion that there are some suspicious activity in the Supreme Court? Of course, nakakasira yon it will tarnish the integrity, the credibility, the authenticity, or reputation of the Supreme Court. So, he was liable for gross misconduct. Another one, sabi sa CIPRA, Section 37, ano ang mga sanctions? If the respondent is found guilty of a serious offense, any of the following sanctions or a combination thereof shall be imposed. Disbarment, suspension from the practice of law for a period of exceeding 6 months, and revocation of notarial commission and disqualification as notary public for not less than 2 years and a fine of 100,000. So, kung liable ka sa serious offense, ito yung mga penalties mo. Gross misconduct is already a serious offense, kaya ang Supreme Court pwedeng mamili kung saan dito or pwede pa niyang i-combine lahat. Disbarment, matanggal siya sa pag-practice ng law. Suspended lang siya sa that's number 2 para mag-practice. Hindi po siya mag-appear sa court. Revocation sa notary. Hindi siya makakapag-notary for 2 years at sa pwede siyang magbayad ng fine ng 100,000. But in this case, the Supreme Court provided or decided or ruled that Attorney Larry Gadon shall be and absolutely disbarred. However, under Section 31, ang manner of imposition dito, so the Supreme Court may in its discretion impose the penalty of disbarment depending on the number of the Supreme Court may in its discretion impose the penalty of disbarment depending on the number and gravity of the aggravating circumstances. Now, ibig sabihin dito sa manner of impositions, if merong mga aggravating circumstances na naganap at walang mitigating, pwede ang Supreme Court magbigay in its discretion. Ano ba yung aggravating? Yung kumbaga iba pang mga kasalanan. So, mas marami ang mga kasalanan ginawa ni Larry Gadon. Take note na una, nag-file siya ng complaint dito sa case na to. Minumura niya via social media yung isa, si Raisa, yung pinakasikat. Tapos meron pa siyang he was also liable in other case na nagbayad siya ng fine of 150,000. So, pwede na to depending sa aggravating circumstance. Ito ang naging basis kung saan the Supreme Court decided and ruled that Attorney Gadon shall be ineligible for judicial clemency. Again, maliban sa siya ay na-disbar, ay hindi na po siya ineligible. Hindi na siya pwedeng mag-file ng petition ng judicial clemency. Ano ba ang judicial clemency, sir? Judicial clemency is an act of mercy removing any disqualification which may be granted only upon a strong proof that it is warranted. To be granted judicial clemency, a claimant must show evidence of reformation and potential. However, clemency should not only be seen as an act of mercy. It is not only for the wrongdoer's convenience. The interest of the persons wronged as well as society in general, especially its value in precedent, should always be taken in primordial consideration. Now, ibig sabihin ng judicial clemency, yun nga, para matanggal na yung disqualification mo at pwede ka nang mag-practice as a lawyer. Ang Supreme Court, sabi niya dito, para ikaw ay makafile ng judicial clemency, kailangan meron kang mga strong proof na ikaw ay nagbago na, pinagsisisihan mo ng lahat, sumasali ka sa mga communities, tumutulong ka sa mga tao, sa mga churches, sa mga may kailangan, may kapansanan. So it really has to show in some other proof na ikaw ay nagbago na at pinagsisisihan mo. Kaya pwede ka na mag-file for judicial clemency. Pero dito sa case na to, sinabi mismo ng Supreme Court that he is, or Attorney Larry Gadon, or right now, Larry Gadon is ineligible. Hindi na siya pwedeng mag-file ng petition for clemency. Ibig sabihin, mukhang imposible na siyang maging abogado. Ayan. So, moral of the story, wag po kayong magpa-file ng mga complaints, especially against Supreme Court or the courts or the judiciary, if you don't have any proof of evidence. Likewise, pag ikaw ay mag-file, make sure that yung verification mo should be based on your personal belief and knowledge. It should not be this belief or knowledge should not come from or originated from hearsay or secondary evidence. It should be personal to you.